Hello and a very good morning to you. I'm Richard Kaufman. Warm welcome to Jakarta in Indonesia. It's day one of the Total BWF World Championships 2015. We're at the Isturis in Jakarta, perhaps the world's most famous badminton venue, and this is of our lineup for you here from court one for day one. Starting off with Liao, Chun, Chen, Hsiao, Huan up against Kona, Tarun and Sikki, Reddy in mixed doubles. Men's singles match, then we got the women's doubles, mixed doubles, and maybe today on this court, Tommy Sugiharto, of course, the Indonesian player, seeded number 15, up against Pablo Abian, who's caused some upsets in the past at World Championships. That's, I remember him beating a certain Chen in London back in 2011, of course, the defending champion. First up is this mixed doubles affair. And I'm Richard Kaufman. Alongside me bringing you these first few matches from court one is a man who's played in 3 of these World Championships, Denmark's former world #1 player, Jesper Larsen. Jesper, it's a very close match up, really. You look at the world rankings, these two, and you look at the route, maybe a chance in the next round against the winner facing Alan Chun or Se-Ying Sued of Hong Kong, but you can see Shuchen Marjin in this side of the draw. They're obviously going to be the big favourites to come through and make the ladder stages.
I think you're definitely right. All of the pairings that we see here are having a very hard time beating Su and Ma from China, so I think we will see them go through the tournament here.
But obviously our eyes are focused on what is the round of 64. You can see many of the big name players like Shuchen Marjin, they get the day off, a bye through to the round of 32. But well, the carrot's quite big, isn't it, for one of these pairings from Chinese Taipei or India that are going to meet here right now. And of course, being an Olympic qualification year, a lot of world ranking points up for grabs too. Fair to say, a very early start, in case you're wondering. It's only 9 o'clock in the morning here in Jakarta, and so the big crowds, the noise that we'll expect to hear as the week goes on. A bit quiet morning. And this first of our the officials and judges are making their way onto court. A terrific venue, the Isturis Senayan, especially when it is packed to the rafters. 9,000 the capacity. Been some great battles here in the past. Of course, with the Indonesian Open taking place here only as recently in July. It's a venue that first opened for the Asian Games back in the 1960s. You've played here, Jesper, and for these players, okay, it may be early on a Monday, but it's still a special place to be playing badminton.
It is definitely a special place. This is home of badminton, so I think they're all looking forward to this. We definitely are. And I think it's gonna be a little, they're probably a little nervous now when they start off, but it's gonna be exciting to see which one of these pairings go through.
And how does the mindset of the players affect it here? Of course, everyone knows about the incredible noise that you have in a stadium. So World Championships is a big occasion, and the fact that it is as sparse as it is right now, is that difficult maybe to handle?
I don't think so. I think these players know that this is Monday morning, 9 o'clock, so they probably don't expect a big crowd in here. So I think this is usually how it is when you play a first round in a mixed doubles, so I don't think it's very surprising.
Well, from Canada, the umpire here going through the preliminaries. So the players go through their usual warm-ups as we run through well, the perspectives of what may happen. Of course, being the first round, you get some lopsided matches, don't you, Jesper? But this isn't one of them. This looks a pretty evenly contest between these two pairs?
I think so. From India has been playing with the double out. Before they were playing with Kona more in the front and more like a men's double.
But this is the pair from Chinese Taipei, ranked 48th in the world. Liao, Chun, Chen, Hsiao, Huan. They've been together as a pair quite a long time. Best this year, as you can see, in their win-loss ratio of -5 to 8, but they did reach the quarterfinals recently at the Canada Open. But a lot of first-round exits, US Open, Singapore Open, Malaysian Masters, to name a few. But not their first World Championships together. In fact, it's their third time. In the previous two occasions, they have made it round to the second round. As you were mentioning, this Indian pair, there's Sikki Reddy, who is, well, the junior partner. She turns 22 next week. As you can see, ranked 53, but that's not bad considering they've only been together 7 months. A couple of wins under.
Yeah, they will probably get a little higher the next couple of months, especially if they do well here. But it's also a pairing that has struggled a little bit when they play stronger pairs.
As you can see, a much more positive career win-loss ratio. And as I say, the fact that it's 18-11 for career and for this year is because they got together back in January. As you were mentioning, last year, Tarun Kona was partnered with Ashwini Ponapur. They got to 26th in the world. There's our umpires I mentioned already, the Canadian Arnaud, and Gilles France is the service judge. Should remind everyone that we've got Hawkeye here, so potential challenges for the player to decisions, as there has been for the last year or so now at these top events, the Super Series and World events. Well, bound to be a few nerves for Sikki Reddy in terms of World Championship experience. She hasn't got any, but as I mentioned, this pair beat the Koreans of Kim Ki-jung and Kim So-young last year in 3 games. They did go out to Lee Chun-hei and Cha Hoi-hwa in the second round. Of course, it is Hong Kong opponents that await in round 2. I wonder whether they'll get a chance again to face a pair from Hong Kong in the round of 32.
On my right, Chen, Liao, Huan, Liao, Chinese Taipei, Sikki, Reddy, and Tarun, Kona, India. Chen Yuan to serve to Tarun, Kona, Laval, play.
Well, the 2015 World Championships are officially underway, just a little wide from Sikki Reddy.
Love.
So first point goes on the board for the Chinese Taipei, as does the second.
2 love. Service fault call, service
Well,
over.
that was an early call, wasn't it, from Gilles Carver? Obviously, the referees, the umpires, they all get together before tournaments like this, and obviously there's certain things they're looking for, and obviously I suppose they want to be pretty strict, as it seems already, on not serving too high.
Seems like it. That's probably been the talk of the last meeting, so he's getting ready for the match.
Well, the right idea from Liao, just put it wide early stages.
3.
Hard to read too many things, but now the nerves start to give way, don't they? And you can get into the ebb and flow of a match.
4.
They all try to get into the match, but as we see here, there are quite a few mistakes, and so from the beginning, I think they are a little nervous.
And the thing is as well, which, as I mentioned in the build-up to this match, you see a lot of lopsided battles, if you like, you know, a pair or an opponent that's obviously outside the top 50, outside the top 100 of the world rankings. But
Service over.
the fact that there's only 5 places between these pairs
3-5.
in the world rankings, there's a real opportunity both pairs will feel for a chance to make it through.
I think they feel could have been playing a very strong pairings, so this is a good opportunity for both of them.
6-3.
Well, it's the Chinese Taipei pair who are playing in their 3rd World Championships together, who have got off to the more positive start so far.
7.
Yeah, we see a few mistakes from the pair from India. Normally they're quite consistent, so I think they just need to get into the game.
It's worth pointing out as well, I mean, given their world ranking, not that surprising really, at 48 and 53 respectively.
Service over.
Another mistake there, this time from Chen Huan.
7.
That there's been a lot of first-round exits from them. I mean, a number, Liao, Chen, Hsiao have, I think, lost 5 or 6 times this year in round 1. And although they've won this Indian pair a couple of tournaments at challenge level when they've stepped it up, they've also time in the first round as well. So it makes it even more important for them to get that good start in this match that, well, we've seen from Liao and Chen here. As I say, that another mistake.
Yeah.
Service over. 5.
It all seems a little tense. I think they also know that this is the World Championships, and it's very important for the Olympic qualifying too. But let's see. I think they're getting into it now. So
in the mixed doubles, yes, well, of course,
6-8.
you're a double specialist yourself, but you can see already there's some good movement, isn't there, at the front of the court from Chen. She's, as you see there, another example of it. She looks pretty sprightly. She's moving from side to side pretty well.
Yeah, she's getting high at the net, and it seems like they have the initiative right now, the Taiwanese pairing. You can also see a little special thing from the India pairing is that every time Kona receives the serve, then he stays in the front, which is quite unusual for mixed doubles. And I think that comes from playing with Papana before, where she liked to get behind him. Yeah, because I mean, she's only a little thing, isn't she? That's really but she's got some power, so she's not afraid to battle from the back of the court.
8-9.
Yeah, 5th World Championship appearance it is for Tarun, who went with the smash that.
Service over.
She was lucky there. I think she mishit it a little bit, but it ended up being a very good shot.
Yeah, no challenge there. There was a questioning look, but I think it was the right call. It was on the line.
I think you're right, yeah.
Interval.
So it's the pair of Liao and Chen who take a fairly fragile interval lead, 11 points to 8. There's no doubt about it. Indian badminton, Jesper's, has been on the rise, hasn't it, steadily over the last half a dozen years, really. World Championship medals now coming about. The expectations are pretty high, not necessarily for this pair that we're watching here, but they're pretty high in general, that they may be able to put maybe more than 1 medal this week.
Court 1,
I think we've seen a change the last 10 years in badminton, where India got back. I think when I started playing badminton, which is a long time ago, we used to see some. The last 10 years, they're coming.
In double, they've struggled most of it. Interesting, they made an appointment for Tan Kim Hare. Is the Malaysians about to join the Indian team, so it's showing that they obviously seen there's a weakness there that needs putting right.
Yeah, they probably need to do something about that, but it seems also like that when they grow up, they play a lot of singles, and then they change over to doubles, and they probably need to start a little earlier with the doubles.
Were you a double?
Yeah, from I was 4.
Well, it's not yet beyond the reach, this opening game for the Indian pair. but it's a nice 5-point gap.
That's a good serve.
10-14.
It's also a little unusual to see a forehand serve. Most of the players nowadays use the backhand serve, but it works well for her.
Service over. 15-10.
No, a little bit of luck.
Service over.
I think she won.
I mean, it's great, isn't it? If you know, you want to get things going, you're first up. But the bad news is, if you lose, you could be out of the World Championships within an hour of the tournament getting underway.
Yeah, it almost hasn't started before you're out. Yeah, that's
13,
true.
15.
And they've probably been training maybe for 6, 7, 8 weeks before this, so they've been looking forward to it, and they are all of them hoping to get into the next round, definitely.
Service over. 16-13.
Well, the gap has narrowed a little, hasn't it? It was 14-8 at one point.
17.
It still looks like the parent from Chinese Taipei are in control, and you can also see she asked for a little break here, and maybe just to clear her head.
Umpire said no, though.
Yeah, I think she didn't really need it, and he also.
13.
Well, it looks like she's going to get a break pretty soon anyway. 3 points away from taking the opening game. Make that 2 now for Liao and Chen.
Taiwanese pair has been good at keeping the attack all the time. Every time they can't get into a smash or something, they just stop it at the net and get a new lift.
And 7 game points have arrived for them. And as simple as that, and I suppose pretty apt that it came with an error from Sikki Reddy at the net, really.
Chen, Hsiao, Huan, 21-13.
Few nerves jangling around. Still time for the Indian pair to turn it around, but in the end, a pretty convincing scoreline from Liao, Chun and Chen, Huan. They've taken the opening game by 21 points to 13.
Yeah, one of the things that we haven't talked about yet is that there's actually a lot of wind in this hole, and now the pair from India are getting the wind in the back, and that's really important that they get the attack, because it's hardly a few shots out if they are not getting the offensive.
I have to say, weren't too many rallies, were there? I mean, 11 minutes for that opening game.
Yeah, even the rallies that India wins is then done by mistakes from the Taiwanese pairing. So yeah, but I think they looked pretty much in control all the time, and I'm looking forward to see what the parent from India is going to do about this now.
I mean, you should remember this pair have been together, what, 5 years plus. The Indian pair here, they've been together for 7 months. I mean, I think maybe we saw that in that opening game as well there.
Yeah, you can also, if you look at them, they don't look very confident the way they're walking around. Yeah, they really now.
20 seconds.
I think they need to push Reddy more forward, and she needs to get on top of the net, and then Kona needs to maybe stay a little more in the back and take some responsibility for the game.
Love all. Play.
So first set pretty comfortable for the Chinese type pair of Liao and Chen.
Oh, there she is. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
Very nice.
Yeah, very nicely played, little. Good on the racket.
1 love. Service
But as you
over.
can see, Reddy now, she's trying to play the net. She's trying to get the net, get on top of the net. It's definitely.
Right on the line.
Service over. 2.
That's very good.
Service over.
We
3,
still see
2.
the India pairing a little too defensive, but they're trying now, and it looks better for them.
Service
Smart
over.
play there.
3 all. Four, 3. Service over.
See a few mistakes. That also means that they're, of course, opening up for mistakes.
5, 4. Six, 4. Halt. Service over. 5, 6. Six all. Seven, 6.
Well, there's no doubt if we're talking about dominating the net so far, you have to say the Chinese Taipei pair have managed to do that, haven't they, in this match so far?
They definitely have, yeah. It also seems like they know what the India pair is going to do. So every time they play Reddy to the forehand, they know that she's going cross-court. So they're just waiting for it. Oh, not this time.
Service over. 8, 7.
The Taiwanese pairing has moved forward now. They know that the opponents are not going to lift, so they are standing almost side by side at the net, waiting for the short returns.
Service over. 8, 9.
When Kona is receiving, it would be smart just lifting the shots away if he gets high on the serve, because then they have him in the front, and they can easily play around Reddy at the net.
9 all.
Oh, that's good. Very good.
10, 9. 7-9 interval.
Well, some hope maybe for this Indian pair then, because Kona Tarun and Sikki Reddy have an interval lead.
Yeah, I was definitely not right about them not being able to lift from this side. They easily lift, and they had a good defense here. So it seems like the Taiwanese kind of lost their way, and they need to get back in the game now. A little more consistency, I think, is needed.
4 points in a row for Kona and Sikki Reddy at the end of that little spell there. So
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
positive thoughts, I would think, coming out of this short break.
Service over.
Pity, because that was a good rally, wasn't it?
That was a very good rally and a nice build-up. That had to serve better. She really moved forward now, Reddy, and taking charge of the net. Nice shot. Oh.
There's a challenge here.
Tarun. Call out.
The ball was called out. The Indian pair thought it was good.
Yeah, we are even sitting long line here, and that was very hard to see.
Call. Challenge unsuccessful.
Well, unfortunately, we never got to see the actual
10, 11.
Hawkeye experience there,
Challenge
but
remaining.
we can hear
10,
from
11, play.
the umpire that it was an unsuccessful challenge.
I think the score is 11 all, isn't it?
11 all?
Yeah.
No. All.
We got there in the end. Nicely placed.
Service over.
Yeah, that's a good mix-up because as you see, they were looking forward to the net, or they were moving forward to the net, because that's usually what she does. So very good mixing up this shot here.
All.
She was there, wasn't she? Just mistimed it. Important part of this second game now.
But I think at the net, Chen knows that if she can challenge Reddy just for 2 or 3 shots, then
13,
she does
12.
make mistakes, and that was one more from the backhand before.
Good opportunity now for Kona maybe to catch this match. Despairing look from Reddy. She's seeing the shot.
14.
She's getting there. She's just not applying it quite, is she?
She knows what she's gonna do, but yeah, still some mistakes sneaking in.
Service over. 15-13. Service over.
That's a little more like it. I think receiving the serves, they've been far too defensive or not attacking it enough. The pairing from India are not serving that well. I think they can get a lot higher on them. So I think we'll see them step forward now.
15 all.
One down.
And up again.
Two up. And that's
in.
in.
Yeah.
That's in. Well, she's challenging it in Sikki already, but I mean, we both instinctively said that was in.
Challenge.
I think that's inside the line, so she's probably going to be disappointed in that one.
If you watch the replay, she actually celebrates that it's gone out. And I think that maybe out of embarrassment, she was challenging it. See the fist bump and then the look of despair.
16, 15.
It was unsuccessful as
yeah. Sometimes you also try to show the shots that you think that you won the rally, and in that way then maybe provoke him to call it your way.
And that one is out. And what was a very positive position at 15-13 up, the gain down.
Yeah. I think there is something with the thing that Kona has on his knee, because he's doing quite well, and then they took the break.
Yeah, nicely picked up, wasn't it?
18,
oh, that was good.
16.
Yeah, I mean, Chun. And there's another, and the finishing line.
Getting for the opportunity to attack.
And there was another one. Points.
20, match point, 16.
They picked up the speed in the end here. They definitely is playing a lot faster now than they were before.
Service over.
That was tight.
17, 20.
Sometimes here you want to, if you're receiving the serve, then you want a new shuttle, because then it's hard to serve long.
And that's it.
Game.
The first pair through on day one of the World Championships here in Jakarta. 15 are Liao, Chen, Huan, 21-13, 21-17. There was a brief respite in the Indian game, but in the end, duo from Chinese time group.
I think they had more speed and more power, but I also think that the pair from India, that was definitely a very bad break they took in the middle of the second set. They were just they were leading, and they were doing well, and then they got the Taiwanese pair. They got a small break. They got time to think about what they wanted to do, and that was not good.
Yeah, that little break came at 15-13. 8 of the next 10 points were won by Chen, Hsiao, Huan. Now, no, the round of 32 is Alan Chan and Sei Ying Suet of Hong Kong, the number 16 seeds. But they'll have a chance, won't they?
I think they will. It will be an even match, but I still think the Hong Kong pair will probably win.
Third time through to the round of 32 in the World Championships. 3 World Championships in a row. They haven't got past the second round, Liao and Chen. So will it be third time lucky for them? But they've got the job done here. Some of the from this So Liao and Chen through in the mixed doubles. It's men's singles next. America versus Hong Kong. Howard Hsiao taking on Wei Nan. You see women's doubles, mixed doubles, and then another men's singles match come out later. Tommy Sugiarto and Pablo Abian. And it's fair to say, Jesper, whereas the opening match we thought, looking at the world rankings, it could be a tied affair. And I think the second game maybe proved that point a little. These two matches, they seem a little...
Yeah, I think you're definitely right. This is gonna be very difficult for Howard Hsiao. Wei Nan is a good player, and I think he'll get through quite easy.
Yeah, not the best of draws for the Americans men's singles players. Howard Hsiao here up against Wei Nan, and Sarawat up against Lin Dan.
Yeah, I think Howard here is he's a good player, but he has a hard time when he gets to the Super Series matches, and Wei Nan is a player who's done very well the last couple of months or the last year.
In this side of the draw, Chen, who played so well, didn't he, on home soil very recently at the Open Chinese Taipei, beat the aforementioned Lin Dan, didn't he? Tommy Sugiarto, of course, some local hopes maybe for him.
I think they have, and they will definitely try to help him how the match starts, because it could also win comfortably, but it depends. He might also be a little nervous about playing World Championships in Indonesia.
Yeah, of course, for the Indonesian players, there's an expectation, the crowd can work for you. Of course they can, but they can also sometimes weigh heavily on your shoulders.
It can. Badminton is probably the biggest sport in Indonesia, and that puts a lot of pressure on the players, and the organizers has been waiting for this event to come to Indonesia for a long time, and they seem ready, and of course that would also put a little pressure on the players. But I think when if they get through to the further tournament quarterfinals, and so I think the crowd would definitely help them a lot.
25 years since this arena hosted a World Championships. To give you an idea, 1989. It was the 6th edition of the World Championships. Lee Yongbo was among the winners in the men's doubles, as was Park Ju-bong, who's of course now the head coach of Japan. He won in the mixed doubles. And so much so, it was even before your time, wasn't it, Jesper?
That was before my time, yes, yes. I remember as a kid looking at these two guys. They were playing well.
Certainly before these guys' time, although Wei Nan at 31 years old, he might remember it. He would have been years old then. So Howard Hsiao up against Wei Nan, never met before. And the winner takes on Pablo Abian or Tommy Sugiarto. 65th in the world right now, Howard Hsiao. One of his most recent outings was at the Pan Am Games, the Pan American Games in July. Left to Kevin Corden in that one. You can see it's a pretty even win-loss ratio in 2015. Reached the final in an event in Brazil, but then lost in a row. China Masters, the US Open. Things have improved in July.